in '09, when Obama took over the war on terror, Islamists were in retreat, and Al-Qaeda was a broken force. Now, Islamists, they control more territory than ever. It's where they train and launch more attacks on us and our allies, and that was predictable. Military brass warned the left, do not pull out without allowing a residual force to remain, to keep a lid on it, and to retain the ground that the good guys just gained. Friends, the rise of ISIS, it is the direct result of this administration's refusal to heed that warning. It is. And now everywhere you look, well, Islamists are on the march. From Boko Haram selling schoolgirls as slaves, and ISIS crucifying Christians and burning the innocent alive in cages and beheading children, babies. Aside from God Almighty, what is the only force strong enough to keep this barbaric rolling tide at bay? The only thing standing between us and savages. It's the red, white, and blue. It's the United States military. We are in a long-term civilizational struggle against the forces of evil. Now, if we intend to beat them, we'd better get serious about victory. The consequences of weakness, it's retreat and defeat. In the past, our leaders confronted evil with moral clarity, eliminated the fascists and the Nazis. They consigned communism to the dustbin of history. Make no mistake, radical Islam is just as dangerous as those ideologies. And Islamists now, they swear that they're going to bring the fight to our shores. ISIS threatens to raise its black flag over our White House. They told President Obama, we will cut off your head in the White House. But our lead from behind president thinks that we can coexist with these genocidal thugs. He thinks the Islamic State isn't really Islamic. Pretending it's not there doesn't make it go away. Calling it something else won't make it so. And lecturing Christians to get off our high horse about radical Islam won't stop the Islamists from killing Christians. Stop blaming the victim and wake up, Mr. President. While Christians bow our heads to pray for you, radical Islamists want to cut off your head. The world that they want is a world that would submit. We will never submit to evil. We will consign radical Islam to the ash heap of history, just like the Nazis before them.
How did you hear about ISIS, and what was your first reaction?
I followed the world news pretty closely, and it's just another group that's popped up on the scene, similar to Al-Qaeda or any of the other Middle Eastern terrorist groups.
Do you think we should intervene, and if so, how?
No, the United States should not directly intervene. The way they're doing it right now is coalition-based, supplying arms and air support, which is the way it should be. And you need to make sure that the Middle Eastern countries can take care of themselves against these terrorist threats.
How do you think we should stop the problems with young kids going to fight for ISIS?
Well, I don't think it's a problem. Number one, it's not a problem in the United States. There's been a couple very isolated incidents, in fact, in Minnesota, of Somalian kids going to the Middle East to fight. But that's just ground-based in the high schools and the education system to make sure that they're aware of what's going on. And then everybody just has to keep aware of their surroundings and people. If you hear somebody talking about it, they have to be reported.
In your mind, will going to fight ISIS start a war like the Iraq situation?
As long as it doesn't get escalated beyond supplying arms and air support, there should be no reason to ever go back into the Middle East.
And then finally, what do you think the state of Minnesota should do about the threat at Mall of America?
Again, that's a a ground level based situation. I'm sure the city of Bloomington has a policy in force, but in addition to that, the federal government should be involved because you need to have your terrorist watch list involved in it. Just like with the Boston bombing, something similar could happen had they been more aware of these people that are within the city or the area. That could have been stopped, and I think that needs to be done at the federal level.
When did you first hear about ISIS, and what was your first reaction?
I first heard about ISIS on the national news after the first beheading that they sent, and my initial reaction was pretty appalled the fact that they could, first of all, do that, and then they would share that with the world.
Do you think the United States should intervene? And if you do, how would you go about it?
I don't know. I have mixed feelings. I feel like we have to do something just because we can't let people be treated that way. But I don't necessarily know how to intervene, just because we don't. Who are we fighting? We don't really have someone that we're fighting. So I think it would be difficult. So hopefully there's people within the armed forces that are working on it and dealing with it.
How would you stop the problems with young adults from the United States going to fight with ISIS?
I think the only thing that you can do is try to find programs and things that will keep people home and give people hope that there is something here for them, and so they don't need to go looking for that elsewhere.
In your mind, if we went and fought ISIS like on their home turf, would it be another mistake like Iraq, and would it be like another war situation?
I don't know if it would be another war situation because, like I said, I think who are we fighting? It doesn't seem as well. If it's organized, it doesn't seem as organized as like the Iraqis and Al Qaeda. So I don't know if it would be the same situation.
What do you think the state of Minnesota should do about the threat that was put to MLA?
I personally think that anytime you have big areas and highly populated areas, that you're always going to have things like that. So they need to just be well aware of the risks and be well trained in how to deal with those situations and know that it won't be the last time that it's probably going to happen.
Okay, thanks.